Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and welcome in today's episode. Caspa is going to hit all-time highs soon and most people will not believe it. So I think most of the people believe that Caspa is really slow in terms of price. When you talk about the development aspect, we know that Caspa has achieved what most other blockchains cannot even dream of. We have 10 blocks per second right now running on a proof of work, fairly large, no pre-mines, decentralized, secure, and scalable network. So this is something that we don't even need to explain because it explains and says everything for itself. But when it comes to the price action, when it comes to the price bumps that most people expect, that is when people get disappointed. But I'm here to tell you that a lot is going to happen soon, and a lot might be happening in the background that most people don't even know. Most of the people are focused on interest rates. Most of the people are focused on what is happening between Donald Trump and Jerome Powell. Most of the people are focused on the trade wars, but I think the Federal Reserve might be actually doing something behind the scenes, and I think this move to 100K originated from what happened recently. So stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to be covering this secret move that is going on behind the scenes. So we're going to start with the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve had decided to keep interest rates steady. They're not going to cut rates now. So this has really triggered a reaction from Donald Trump. As always, he's been calling Jerome Powell a lot of names, Mr. Too Late. He even called Jerome Powell a fool for not cutting interest rates. So Donald Trump expressed his concerns as to why he thinks that Jerome Powell is actually making a mistake, because we can see other central banks, for example the UK, and we also have an announcement from China saying that they have decided to cut rates. China injects a tactical monetary stimulus ahead of US trade meeting. So China have already made their first move by cutting interest rates, and I think this Bitcoin move also started from this announcement because we are seeing more and more central banks now shifting monetary policy. They are now focusing on cutting interest rates, but Jerome Powell is one of the final piece of the puzzle that we are waiting for. We're waiting for Jerome Powell to start acting because we know exactly that when the Federal Reserve decides to print money, when the Federal Reserve starts to cut rates, that's when most of the people have risky appetite. They start to go for risky assets, for example, stocks and cryptocurrencies. And after this happens, mostly you're going to see money come from Bitcoin because we are seeing Bitcoin at its all-time high in terms of Bitcoin dominance. I think most of the liquidity is going to come from Bitcoin and start to flow into altcoins. Now, one of the top altcoins that is positioned well is Caspa. So people are going to be looking at Caspa as one of the major investments because it has a lot of catalysts. We've seen 10 blocks per second launched successfully. So if all of other big players, if all of other big whales were waiting for the crescendo hard fork, they are waiting for it to be successfully launched, I think they have a green light. That's why we are seeing more and more exchanges starting to tease about, listings. We are going to see a lot of things come on Caspa. So this is not financial advice. This is me just sharing my conviction. I think all-time highs for Caspa are going to happen soon. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Now, one of the things that I wanted to share is what is happening behind the scenes with the Federal Reserve. The Fed buys 20 billion in bonds, state QE returns. So this announcement is really, I could say this announcement is really hidden because not a lot of people are covering this because most of the people are focused on interest rates and what is going on between Jerome Powell and Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants interest rates low. We also want interest rates to be lowered because we want the bull run that we expect. And Caspa, I think, is going to lead the way. So you might be asking yourself, like, what is teeth qualitative easing? I think for investors, this type of action sends a clear message to the markets. The Fed is still very much active behind the scenes. Even as public focus remains on interest rate decisions, by quietly boosting liquidity, the Fed is propping up market stability while maintaining its public stance against premature rate cuts. For investors, this could mean bullish momentum ahead. More liquidity generally translates to stronger performance in risky assets like stocks and cryptocurrencies. Now, when this happens, What the Fed is doing, the Fed is injecting liquidity in the side chains, but it doesn't want to go public. It wants most of these retail traders or retail investors to keep their attention on the federal interest rate cuts and ignore what is happening with this Fed buying 20 billion worth of bonds. Now, the Fed purchasing 20 billion in 3-year bonds, I think this is the largest daily purchase since 2021 quantitative easing era. So they're injecting liquidity on the side instead of cutting rates to avoid a panic. So this is what they're actually doing. And I think this is why we are seeing Bitcoin pump. Most of the people who know exactly what is happening behind the scenes are the ones that are taking advantage of the situation. So I think this is a very, very bullish signal, because once the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, we're going to see a lot of bullish momentum, and we are going to see Casper hit all-time highs soon. I think most of the people are not ready for what is going to happen with Casper. I can't see any other cryptocurrency that is positioned well for this bull run, for this massive price explosion like Casper. So if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video to as many people as you can, because we need to spread the word about Casper to as many people as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.